Before start this video, please subscribe my channel and click on bell icon. Thanks.
As the old saying goes, home is where the heart is. Whether one lives in an apartment, house, or mobile home or has chosen to experience van life on the road, our home is the place we long for at the end of an exhausting day and where we make a life for ourselves. In the same way that the types of homes vary from the outside, each home's interior is also as unique as its occupants, reflecting both their own personal style and organizational needs. However, with the busyness of life, it's not uncommon for things inside the home to also get a bit messy from time to time and for items to be misplaced. While you might be surprised to find some lost change under the sofa cushions or a gift card you forgot you received, you certainly wouldn't expect to find your missing husband's body among the Christmas decorations, a massive amount of acorns lurking behind your walls, or a coyote seeking refuge. Unfortunately, these unexpected finds were all too real scenarios for the occupants on this list. Here are 10 startling things people have discovered in and on their homes. Related, 10 weird things found at the bottom of the Great Lakes. 10 missing husband's body. Troy, Illinois widow mourns loss of husband who was missing since April. In the United States alone, approximately 600,000 people are reported missing each year. Those reported missing fall into various categories, such as those who have been kidnapped, are missing in action, have disappeared due to a mental disability, or have simply chosen to disappear. While many missing persons are able to be found quickly, there is still 1%, 6,000, of those who have disappeared that stay missing. Unfortunately, 53-year-old Richard Medge of Troy, Illinois, was reported missing in 2022, although he tragically never left his home. On April 26, 2022, Medge told his wife, Jennifer, that he was not feeling well and decided to leave work early. However, when Jennifer arrived home, Medge's car, wallet, and keys were there, but he was nowhere to be found. Jennifer reported Medge missing on April 27, 2022. When police arrived to search what they described as a hoarder home, they noticed a sewer-like smell but found no traces of Medge. Despite police being unable to locate Medge, Jennifer noticed a continual odor coming from the house, as did the neighbors and even the mailman. The police were contacted, and after searching the home a second time, they advised Jennifer that the home might have sewer problems. In light of this, the family contacted a plumber, who placed a cap on one of the basement sewer pipes, seemingly eliminating the odor. Unfortunately, it was not until December 11, 2022, nearly 8 months after Medge's disappearance, that Jennifer discovered the grim truth of not only the source of the smell but her husband's whereabouts. As Jennifer went into a concealed closet area to gather Christmas decorations, she discovered Medge's body behind some clothes inside the closet. Jennifer called 911, and an autopsy later revealed Medge's cause of death to be suicide by hanging. 9 Coyote behind the toilet. Coyotes, also called prairie wolves or brush wolves, are smaller members of the Canidae family, which includes wolves and foxes. These animals can be found in prairies, deserts, forests, and mountains throughout North America and Canada. While coyotes typically try to avoid humans, they can also be found in urban cities such as Los Angeles, California, and Chicago, Illinois. Therefore, when a family in Trenton, Ohio, left their front door open while packing their vehicle for a road trip in the early morning hours of September 9, 2022, they unintentionally gave a coyote the opportunity to wander inside. However, the coyote chose a rather unusual place of refuge, the area behind the toilet. Surprisingly, it wasn't until Adam Whaley's father used the first-floor restroom that he discovered the coyote hiding behind the toilet. Naturally, none of the family members wanted to get too close to the wild animal, so they contacted the police for assistance. Thankfully, officers were able to safely remove the coyote from the bathroom and release him outside. 2. 8 doll and creepy note inside wall. I found a creepy doll in my wall. She claims she killed a family. This morning, in 2021, over 1 million homes were sold across the United Kingdom, with homebuyers spending a total of over $327 billion, £260, £5 billion, on residential properties. 32-year-old Jonathan Lewis, a primary school teacher in the UK, was among one of those, having purchased his new home in Walton, Liverpool, on September 17, 2021. All the excitement of a new home aside, Lewis surely never would have imagined that a ragdoll containing a sinister note would be located within the walls of his new home. Lewis was aware of a void underneath the stairs, which had been plasterboarded up. However, as he inspected the area, he also noticed a wire coming out where the previous homeowner had kept their refrigerator. Lewis's curiosity got the better of him, causing him to knock through the plasterboard. As he then shone a light in the hole, he saw a rag doll. While there was nothing scary about the doll, the attached note sent a less than welcoming message. The note read, "Dear reader / new homeowner, thank you for freeing me. My name is Emily. My original owners lived in this house in 1961. I didn't like them, so they had to go. All they did was sing and be merry. It was sickening. Stabbing was my choice of death for them, so I hope you have knives. Hope you sleep well." Given the sinister warning, Lewis's friends urged him to sell the home and move out. However, Lewis found the situation to be more funny than frightening. 3. 7 naked man in bed. Police. Naked man broke into woman's apartment, got in bed with her. Since property crimes are the most common type of crime in the United States, it makes sense that people in the U.S. spend over $20 billion each year on security devices and security systems to protect them. However, even with a surveillance system in her home, 35-year-old Krista Brown of Providence, Rhode Island, was awoken to a startling discovery: a naked man in her bed. On the afternoon of March 28, 2022, Brown decided to take a nap after working the night shift. However, as she was sleeping, she felt someone cuddle up and put their arms around her. Brown naturally assumed it was her boyfriend. Then she remembered that he and her son were busy doing chores, so she turned over only to find a naked stranger lying next to her. Naturally, Brown began screaming for the man, who was later identified as 50-year-old Jason Kendrick, to get out of her home. While Kendrick did leave Brown's apartment, he then ran upstairs to where her brother Justin lived. Her brother also chased Kendrick away. Kendrick, who ironically happened to live next door, was still naked and sitting on his couch when police arrived. He was taken to a local hospital for a mental evaluation before being arrested and charged with breaking and entering. 4, 6, 700 pounds of acorns, 700 pounds of nuts, discovered in wall of CA home. Thanks to woodpecker, there are approximately 180 different species of woodpeckers that can be found in almost every area of the world, with the exception of Australia and New Guinea. For example, the downy woodpecker, which has a black and white checkered pattern on its body, a short beak, and black markings on its outer feathers, is the most common woodpecker species found in North America and is also the smallest, measuring only 6 to 7 inches, 14 to 17 centimeters, in length. Woodpeckers primarily feed on insects such as beetles, ants, aphids, flies, and caterpillars. However, one particular species, the acorn woodpecker, will drill thousands of tiny holes into trees and store acorns individually in the holes to ensure it has enough food during the winter when insects or flowers are not available. Unfortunately, one pair of acorn woodpeckers decided to stockpile their acorns in a rather unusual place, a hole in the chimney of a home in Glen Ellen, California. In December 2022, the homeowners placed a call to an exterminator after discovering little maggot-like worms coming out of the bedroom wall. When Nick Castro, the owner of Nick's Extreme Pest Control, arrived at the property, he initially assumed a dead animal was to blame. However, after cutting into a wall, Castro discovered that the maggot-like worms were actually mealworms that had been feeding on a massive hoard of acorns, 700 pounds, 317 kilograms, to be exact. The acorn woodpeckers had made hundreds of holes in the home's wood siding and had been dropping the acorns through a hole in the chimney. As the acorns were dropped, they then made their way through a separate hole in the attic, which began filling the cavity of the home's walls. It took Castro and his crew of 3 an entire day to remove the huge stash, which piled and reached approximately 20 feet, 6 meters, high. Once the acorns had been removed, Castro ensured that all holes and open areas were covered to ensure the woodpeckers would no longer be able to use the home for storage. The acorns were then disposed of as they were covered in droppings and fiberglass from the wall insulation. Five Serval Atlanta woman wakes up to find wild African cat in her bed / courtesy CNN, WGCL servals, which have been given the nickname giraffe cat, are small, slender cats with a tawny-colored coat that has both black lines and spots. The serval also has both the longest legs and the largest ears for its body size of any cat. Given that these cats live near the thickly planted rivers and streams of both Central and Southern Africa, you certainly wouldn't expect to find one had wandered into your bedroom. However, that is precisely what happened to Christine Frank of Brookhaven, Georgia. On the morning of June 30, 2021, Frank's husband, Dave, had gotten up early to let their dog out while she stayed in bed to rest. Dave also left the door open. Shortly after that, Frank was awoken by movement on the bed. Frank didn't allow the dog to sleep in bed, and given that her husband had already gotten up, she knew the movement couldn't have been from either of them. She then discovered an unfamiliar, large cat lying in the bed, which was later identified as a serval. The cat then jumped out of the bed, and Frank began yelling for her husband. With the cat cornered, Frank was able to get out of bed, and thankfully, her husband managed to get the serval out of the house. The serval, named Nala, was later trapped by a neighbor and returned to its owner, Anna Fife, on July 5, 2021. Fife and her family had previously found the cat near their home in South Carolina, where it is legal to own a serval without a license, but when Fife decided to move to Atlanta for college, she brought Nala with her. Nevertheless, owning a serval as a pet in Georgia is illegal, so the cat was taken from Fife by Georgia's Department of Natural Resources on July 8, 2021. They then made arrangements to send the cat to a sanctuary. For stranger living in attic. Man found living in Washington homeowner's attic after residents smelled cigarette smoke. The term frogging is defined as the act of someone secretly living in another person's home without their knowledge. While it would seem impossible to most to have a complete stranger living in your home without anyone else knowing, this became an all too real situation for one homeowner in Mill Creek, Washington. In March 2023, the unidentified homeowner began noticing items missing from his home and smelling cigarette smoke. He traced the smell to an upstairs loft, where he made a startling discovery: a makeshift bed, half-eaten food, drug paraphernalia, and a heater turned on. Police made a visit to the home on March 20, 2023, after the owner reported the theft. While officers removed the items that were found in the upstairs loft, they were unable to locate the intruder responsible. The police returned a second time on March 21, 2023, after the homeowner reported that his house had been locked from the inside and he had been locked out. It was then that officers found 24-year-old Daniel Tamoyaga inside with over $3,000, a passport, and a wallet, all of which he had stolen from the homeowner. He was also in possession of meth and fentanyl pills. While it took police an hour and a half to get Tamoyaga out of the home, he was finally arrested and charged with second-degree theft, residential burglary, and possession of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Thanks for watching. Credits to listverse.com. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.